Christmas time is here. Oh, yeah. It's that time of year, folks. It's the time of year where the best views come in because it's the time of year where we wrap up our favorite things. So, I thought I would do my top 5 favorite fountain pens for 2021, like I do every year. So, a couple of these are, well, actually one of them is a repeat of the last couple years, but all of the rest are new goodies. None of these 5 are in a particular order. There really is no number 1 to number 5. It's just the top 5, the 5 that I have had the most joy, that I use the most often, and all of the above. So without further ado, I'm just gonna jump right into it. Also, one more idea. I've done a review of all of them. So if you want to see like super detail about them, just check my channel page because they're all there. So let's start with the one that you guys will likely know. That is my Pilot Custom 823 fountain pen. This amber colored one I've had for many years now. I like to ink it up with Montblanc James Purdy & Sons single malt ink because it's amazing. It smells amazing. And even my pen now smells like that ink. And it's awesome. So this has a medium nib and I've had this pen for quite some time. This past year, 2021, I did also purchase the smoke version with a fine nib, which is currently inked up. It's inked up with KWZ Northern Twilight, which is why it also smells delicious like vanilla. I love these pens. I like the fact that I can fill them up with a ton of ink because when I use them, I typically use them for a long extended period of time. These are great journaling pens because they're comfortable for very long writing sessions. And that's why I now have 2. There is also a totally clear, transparent version that you can purchase, but I'm not a super lover of the design. I would pick it up if I saw it on like crazy sale, maybe with the broad nibs, and then I'd have fine, medium, and broad, but it's not on the list for things that I want to purchase. Although, spoiler, I will have a video in the new year of pens that I'm hoping to be able to pick up in 2022. That's not going to be on it though. So next up, let's talk about a Visconti pen. So in my personal collection, I own the Visconti Homo Sapiens Midnight in Florence, but this is not the favorite pen. It's just, I don't have the favorite one anymore. So this has a fine nib on it, which is perfectly fine. I do very much enjoy this pen. Again, full review of it. I do very much enjoy this pen. This pen writes phenomenally. It is also a vacuum fill pen like the 823. And I always fill it up with purpley color inks, which is why the barrel is actually kind of stained now. And I love the fact that the like middle band here is starting to patina very nicely. But anyways, I'm using this as a placeholder for something to hold because the favorite is actually the writing experience of the Visconti Homo Sapiens pen venture video that I did, where it has like the see-through barrel, but it's red. Again, check my channel. I've done a full review of that. I had to give that pen back. It was not mine to keep. It was just on loan, but it is one of the best writing experiences I have ever had with any fountain pen, bar none. And it had an extra fine nib on it, and it just, it gave me so much pleasure every time I would write with it. I never had any bad experiences with it. I just realized that I still haven't fixed the Charlie Brown part of my tree. Oh, that's funny. It's actually, there is a star there. It's, where is it there? This branch here is supposed to hold the star, but it was too tall with it. So I like bent it over and now I realize it looks like sad tree. but I'm just going to keep it there so you all get to stare at it for the next little bit. So yeah, the Homo Sapiens pen venture is the one that's actually on the list, just because it writes so outstandingly. Just everything about it, the way that it felt on the paper, the ink flow, the bounce, just go check out the review if you want to know exactly and see the writing sample, because it was just phenomenal. No matter what ink I put in it, it was just outstanding. I'm so happy that I had the time with it that I did. A little bit sad that I had to give it back, but it is not mine and I cannot be a thief. So I will forever remember that right in the special part of my heart. So what is next? Well, I'm going to talk about the Leonardo Italiana fountain pen. I do have others. I have the grande versions of the pen as well. In fact, I have two. I have the Jonathan Brooks primary manipulation fountain pen, and I also have the Grande from 2019. That is the copper brown version. Both of these are phenomenal fountain pens. I like them quite a bit, but I prefer actually the regular size, the non-grande size, to write with for long extended periods of time. I did purchase this from penventure.com. So Emmy, just like the Homo Sapiens I just talked about, Emmy did tune this for me. I got an extra fine nib, but I had him tune it so that it was like super smooth and super, super wet. And c'est magnifique. It is very lovely. I like it quite a bit. This is the new 2021 spaghetti resin. I happen to have number 70, and it is just absolutely outstanding. I love the color. It's so rich. It's like just, I love it so much. It's a stiffish nib, which actually, to be honest, almost all of these are stiffish nibs that I have, but I quite like it and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Then, of course, if you watch my channel, you had to be wondering by now, is this little guy gonna make an appearance? Absolutely. It would not be a top 5 pen without the Koveco Sport. Why the Koveco Sport? I don't know. There's just something about it that speaks to my soul. There's nothing super, super outstanding about this pen. I mean, in fact, the reason why I'm sure all of you were expecting it to show up, yes, I have a special case just for them, is because I have a stupid amount of them. Like, just how ridiculous is that? And it all started with this one. And then the sickness grew and became bananas. But this is the most recent one I have. This is like the cyan one that just came out. And a lot of these I actually bought and had tuned from Dan Smith at nibsmith.com. There's too many fountain pen things. This one I did not. This one I just purchased from Goulet Pens. Fine nib, and it writes absolutely outstanding. This is currently actually inked up with Diamine Polar Glow, and I have one of those little guys in there. Sorry, I just got an email. I'm expecting a package. I love these so much. I love the feel of them. It's the cheapest little plastic. There's really nothing special to them. It's just, for whatever reason, I really, really like it. I like to journal with these. I like them to take wherever I'm going. There's just, Parker, come here, baby, come here. She's meowing like crazy. I just love them so much. They, like, the plastic just seems to warm up in my hand. Like, I don't know. I can't fully articulate why I like them so much. They have their problems. They definitely have their problems. It is a hit or miss experience with the nibs. I've done reviews of the premium nibs even you can get that are supposedly hand tuned before they leave the factory. I don't really like them. I think the stock nibs are perfectly fine. Sometimes you do have to widen the tines to make it a bit wetter flow. They are naturally going to be a drier writer. I do that. I have a brass shim that I kind of put through the tines and widen them a little bit that way. A little bit of pressure also widens them. I did a review of how I make pens wetter, and I typically have to do that to pretty much every Koveco Sport that I have because they do write dry, but there's just something special. I don't know. I just love it. I just love it, okay? And then the last pen in my top 5 is sort of cheating-ish. And that is another Pilot pen. This is the Pilot Custom 912 with specifically the Falcon nib, and the cheat is the Falcon nib with an ebonite feed. So I do love the pen without the ebonite feed, which is the regular plastic, but you have to use a really wet writing ink in order to get that like beautiful experience. The ebonite feed that I purchased from nibsmith.com, this is also currently inked with Diamine Gingerbread, and it's actually almost out. The ebonite feed, it just takes it to the next level. So it makes the whole writing experience much wetter, which means you can do the swirly swoops with this pen, and you don't have as much ink starvation as you can with the regular plastic feed. If you use a drier ink with it, then you might still experience some railroading, but with regular writing, you don't. And if you watch my review of the pen, I don't do a ton of flourishing. I'm not really that kind of a person. But what I do appreciate very, very much from this pen is that it does not take any pressure, really, to get the tines to widen. So while you're just writing normally, you'll get that natural line variation. And I notice going back in my writing, if I'm writing fast because I'm upset, if I'm writing maybe with heavier pressure because either I'm anxious or I'm also upset or whatever, like depending on my mood, my writing will change dramatically with this. And I find that so curious because sometimes I'll start writing and then I'll be in one mood, and then by the time I'm done writing, I'll be in another mood, and you can see the evolution of my handwriting because this nib is so sensitive. And with that ebonite feed, the flow is super generous. I love fire hose pens. If you don't love fire hose pens, maybe stick with the regular plastic nib or feed. But I absolutely adore what this pen offers for my writing. Absolutely love it. So those are my top 5. So I have 2 from Pilot, 1 from Visconti, 1 Leonardo, and 1 Koveco. Those are my top 5 for 2021. I don't know if they will change this upcoming year. If anything, I don't think these 2 will, but who knows? Those happen to be what I had the most joy writing with this year, used the most often, with the pens that I am keeping, which you'll see in my 2021 fountain pen collection video. I'm trying to pare it down. Spoiler, in the new year, there will be a massive pen sale that I'm going to be doing. Like crazy. And some of the pens are not very expensive. Some of them are very expensive and you can't buy them anymore. So stay tuned for that. But yes, for now, that's it. That's my top 5. What did you guys think? Have you used any of those top 5? Do you own any of those top 5? Do you hate any of those top 5? Do you love any of those top 5? And what is your top 5? Oh my goodness. I hope you all have a very wonderful holiday season, regardless of what you celebrate. I hope you all stay safe and healthy and happy. And as always, hit the subscribe, hit the like, and I'll see you next time. Bye.